hey, thanks for coming back to Stone Solid Productions, or if you're visiting it the first time. I'm gonna tell you, we normally don't do this. My wife is filming right now. Normally I film. This is our Jeep Cherokee project. We're not working on it. We're not working on our trailer called Tetanus. I wish we were having a funny video, you know, showing you our a Volkswagen powered Ford Expedition. Instead, something horrific happened literally this far, and I normally don't walk backward, but if you've ever visited our channel, you know that I suffered from chemotherapy and radiation scarring with my throat, and the chemotherapy messes with my memory, my short-term memory a lot. Still sharp as a tack for an old dude, but I have to write stuff down, so my notes are going to come a little bit jumbled. Just bear with me, be patient. And let's talk about a little girl by the name of Selena, who was murdered. Follow me. So behind me is my neighbor Mike. He'll tie into this story too. Actually, our whole neighborhood will tie in to this story. It's not just me. I'm just not some, because I know what y'all are gonna say. Maybe don't be hateful in the comments. If you want to be, fine. I don't care. Our cat's down there. It's not our cat, but it's now a cat that eats and sleeps at our house. It's not our cat. I'm gonna tell you a story first. And it ties into a murdered little girl named Selena. But the story gets dark almost a year prior. On Christmas Eve of 2023, we observed our neighbor's dog, Hershey. Hershey was a barking German Shepherd. He was twisted and entangled in this black stuff. It's a landscaping mat. And I'm gonna take you over to it and I'm gonna show you. You know, there's kids that trespass on properties. They break into places. We're not gonna do that, but I am gonna show you. Oops. Come on over. Yeah. Hershey, and this can be verified. Well, you need to stay close so that they can hear me. I don't have a mic, so you need to stay close. And I'm not going to edit this out, okay? Because we don't. All of our old videos, we don't edit. Hershey, on Christmas Eve, we're going to our in-laws, right? Good people, right? You're going to go have dinner Christmas Eve. You're packing up the kids. You're in the expedition. You're going, and you look over and you see. Y'all remember what a rat tail is? And you take a towel and you curl it, and you snap your brother, your sister with it. You know, it's pretty funny. This stuff here, after a hurricane, well, you can see the damage. Well, this is this hurricane. The damage was from the other hurricane a year ago. So don't put this stuff on your fence. It just knocks your fence down. This is what happens to it. It's not a good idea. So what are you hiding? What are you hiding with all this stuff on your fence? Because this is what was put first. This plastic stuff was put on first. Well, that didn't cut it. Then this black material was put on next. But why? And Hershey was stuck in a 20-foot run of this, all the way wrapped around him, and we walk our dogs. So we walk our dogs right here, down the road. And he's barking, and he's barking, and he's barking at our dogs and whatnot. But he's in a death throw. I mean, he's literally just, ah. This is what the dog sounded like. Ah, ah. What would you do? Would you stop and help the dog? if you know anything about me, I hang out with guys that belong to a group in an organization called Sea Shepherd. I hang out at animal activist locations with the guy that was named Rick O'Berry with Flipper, started Flipper, and Steve-O. I didn't get to hang out with Steve-O, but I mean, we're anti-captivity. I've done feral cat captures with Judy Spiegel here in Highlands County with the Humane Society, the feral cat community. We would capture them, we'd get them fixed, the doctor would fix them, and then we'd release them so they couldn't have more kittens, right? Because they're a nuisance, but they're still an animal, they deserve good. This dog's penis, where it should be on his belly, was literally sticking. So if this is where it should have been, it was sticking almost up on its back. If we would have gone to dinner, we'd have come back to a dead dog, and that wasn't going to happen on my watch. I'm also a former police officer, former sheriff deputy. When you take an oath to protect the weakest members of our society, that dog, animals, not just the elderly, not just people suffering from dementia who are stolen from or killed illegally through a system called hospice, right? Through illegal injection from morphine, and then all their money stolen from them. Those aren't just our weakest members, animals are too. But he was twisted. So I called the Highlands County Sheriff's Office. And when I contacted the Highlands County Sheriff's Office, so you got a dog that's dying. You got an animal activist that's like worried about the dog, but he's got everybody loaded up in his vehicle. And I say, everybody just hold on tight. So I call the Highlands County Sheriff's Office, and I call, they send out animal control. And right up there, our neighbor Diane, Natasha, Mack had a video camera. Well, now think about this. She's got video cameras. She's got fencing, slats, and video cameras. And the animal control guy says, how am I going to get up and over this fence? And if you look at the fence, look at me. You ain't going to climb this fence. So I said, pull your truck here. I said, I'll help you get in. I'll go get a ladder if I've got to help you. I said, we're not leaving. I'm not leaving until this dog's rescued. And he agreed, and we both agreed. He was a good dude too, by the way, with the animal control. You did a great job. We got his truck up here. He got up and over the box, I think. I made the suggestion. I can't really remember after chemo how he got up and over there. But when he did, this is what you heard. Can I help you? This kind of snide voice. Can I help you? And it was Diane, Natasha, Mack, our neighbor. And up until that point, we're neighbors. You wave, you help out during the hurricane. Hey, you okay? Stuff like that. Everybody. What are you doing in my backyard is what I heard. I could hear it from the street. He said, I'm with the sheriff's office. She said, you don't get out of my yard. I'm gonna call the sheriff's office. He says, man, I'm with the sheriff's office. This young man's trying his best to help a dog. I had already unclipped. Where's the clip? Hang on, let's see if we can find him. Here. I had already unclipped. So there's these clips. You can see another one right there, right? See those clips? I had already gone down the whole fence and unclipped the dog and got the pressure off of the dog. So at least he could breathe at that point. So you think a neighbor would be like, hey, thank you so much. I'm glad animal control is there because it's still wrapped up. He's running around the yard. I'm not leaving until he's rescued. I'm not leaving until he's safe, right? That's what we're supposed to do. It's called the Humane Society for a reason, because the first HUMAN, the first human thing, the first humane thing to do, the Humane Society, is to help that dog. It's my neighbor. There's another video camera. She says, you need to get up out of my yard. Why? Why did she have a bite dog in her backyard? Now I'm gonna back this story up a long time ago. Selena died. Selena was tied up in her garage, mind you. We live right there. We never heard her screaming. So you're gonna say, and if anybody says a comment that says anything at all about our family, our neighbors, any of us at all, that says, why didn't the neighbors help? You never heard nothing. There were other kids in the backyard and they were beaten. I'm gonna tell you, they were beaten and they were afraid of this woman because there were consequences if they said anything. Ask Selena. Selena wrote that. Am I right, Jessica? Mm-hmm. So what do you think she was doing mentally to the other kids? What do you think mentally she was doing to the dogs? Dogs. Long time ago, she had 2 little dogs. Ready? Ironically, Zoe and Twix. So you get to know your neighbors. Our dog would come up, hey Zoe, hey Twix, and they'd kiss each other, lick each other, whatever, kiss. They don't kiss. At the fence, right? One inside dog, one outside dog. The German Shepherd. Now those dogs died. They were gone. Now you got Cloud. Beautiful white dog. Looked like a service dog. Probably for all the children. And then you had the outside dog, which is a German Shepherd. Then you had a Pomeranian. Kind of ironic that in 2 sets of dogs, animals, let alone human, and I'm not putting value over human over animal. I'm gonna tell you this, I like animals most of the time more than I like people, because they love you unconditionally no matter what. They love you. You love them, I guarantee you they love you back. Why did she have psychological behind this? Think about the psychological aspect behind this. You got one dog inside, one. We got 2 border collies, y'all. They're both inside. Both inside. You got one dog inside, one dog outside on one set. They died. Then you have one dog inside, one dog outside. And then you've got a twin or sister to Selena in a cheerleader outfit going to school. You could see her coming home from cheerleading. And you got one kid tied up. You got your kid tied up. There's some folks walking by. We're going to let them walk by a second. Anytime Cloud got out, and Cloud did get out, Cloud would end up at our front door. And almost like a broken sense, Cloud would come to our door. You know what a broken dog looks like, whether it be beaten and it puts its arms and its shoulders are down, or arms, it puts its head down and it collapses itself and starts the over wag, almost looking like an escape more than anything. But it would always come to our door. And we'd have to go to Diane and tell her, hey, we got your dog, right? It's what neighbors do. Neighbors do that, right? We'd go to the door, knock on the door numerous times. Not with Cloud. Hey, we got a package, knock on the door. Diane never came out to the door. No kids ever answered the door. Instead, we got a Ring camera. Hi, what do you need? This is the response. Hi, what do you need? She knew it was us. What do you need? Hey, we got Cloud. Oh, okay, thank you. I'll be there in a second. Sometimes she would say, I'm up at the store. Young kids home alone. And she'd come pulling in and go, thank you so much. Leave the kids unattended. Kids. young kids. Now, I got a t-shirt from Generation X that said, what's my shirt say? Raised on hose water and neglect. Different generation, different times. You don't do that to kids. I've got 4 sons. You don't do that. Did we ever do that to our sons? We didn't do that to our sons. So that was Cloud. But we never heard a kid screaming. Again, after chemotherapy, I made notes. So after the animal control representative freed the dog, and the dog was breathing, he couldn't take the dog. Dog was healthy. Diane worked for DCF. Diane was a guardian ad litem with the court system. So she was clever. She knew how to bilk the system, knew how to manipulate the system. She knew how to get the funds for these children. First phone call with Diane. Diane called us, correct? Mm-hmm. She called us.
Through Facebook.
Through Facebook, right? Facebook friends, social media, right? Hey, Diane. It's Jessica, my wife, right? Hey, Diane, just want to let you know, we're trying to help Hershey. And she says, I remember Jessica saying, okay, well, we're running late to Christmas dinner. We got to go. And Diane says something on the lines of this. She goes, again, you're going to your in-laws, for dinner. A lot of people waiting on you, right? But you're not going to leave till that dog's okay. Diane got 38 hot. You could hear it in her voice. If you don't know what 38 hot is, 38 hot means when you shoot a 38 caliber, a revolver, and you touch that revolver barrel, it's hot as hell. Go ahead, stop it. 38 revolver. Sorry guys, I had to go get some lights so I could read. Never done this. I'm sending this video to all the crime people. They're gonna get the 911 calls. They're gonna get all that stuff. This isn't what we do on our channel. We do DIY stuff, like I said. We ended up having to tell the representative that she leaves her dog home alone all the time. Jessica says, she said, why the hell? I'm gonna have to read for a while, okay? Why in the hell did you tell them I leave my dogs home alone all the time? Jessica, my wife, says, humbly, she says, well, that's what we see. She said, when you go camping, she bought a brand new Coleman camper, by the way, bought a brand new Tahoe. Tahoe?
I'm not sure.
Brand new Tahoe.
Something.
Nice vehicle. So that's what we see when you go camping. You leave Hershey barking home alone outside until 3, 4 in the morning. So we've called 911 on that too. You're just going, my God, can you make contact with the homeowner? You get up at 4 o'clock in the morning and you're awake for the last 4 hours because the dog's barking. It's crazy. I told my wife to hang up. This woman was unhinged. I mean, when I say unhinged, she went, hi, thanks for helping, to almost like she just reached up here on her face and pulled it off and just became this thing. Call number 2. We're already heading to our in-laws. Deputy, animal control guy did his job. So scene was vacated. Did a good job. He did a good job. And I told my wife, don't answer it. Call number 2, I said, don't answer it. You're not gonna blow the mood. Evening's kind of sort of already been ruined. Made us late to dinner. Call number 3. I answer it this time. You ain't gonna talk to my wife like that at all. And after hearing her rant and rave and belittle and berate who she thinks she's talking to, by the way, she thinks she's talking to Jessica, I tried to interject to end the call. Diane goes off on a racial attack. And the reason why I'm doing this in darkness right now, mosquitoes are out here right now. because that's where Selena was. So I wanted you to see the golden hour when you're supposed to film YouTube videos. I wanted you to see like the pretty sunset that little girl missed all the time. Instead, she was in darkness inside of a garage locked up. You don't think this takes a mental toll on neighbors? You don't think it takes a mental toll on communities? I couldn't, again, chemo. I couldn't get in a hello, Diane. She went off on a tirade. And this is exactly what she said. And I want you in Highlands County, because this is where I live, this is where I work, and I'm not going to be silent about this situation. There's a video with me talking about one race. The human race. Everything else is a color. Everything else is an ethnicity or religious belief. But I believe that there's one race, and that's human. Humane. Human. This is what Diane said in this third phone call when she's going off. She said, y'all a bunch of white entitled, fake butt people. Y'all ain't nothing but a bunch of white, bunch of white, entitled, fake butt people. I've been homeless for a year. I'm not entitled. I know what it's like. At this point, she thinks she's speaking to my wife. And I just said, don't speak to my wife the way you're talking to her. And oh man, she became unhinged. She just went off. She heard it was me. You know, the man voice at that point stepped in. She thinks she's belittling my wife. I hung up. Boom. After this took place, she blocked us on social media, instantly blocked us on the phone. Great, I don't really care. And listen, I'm not going to have all the facts to this story, but this all ties into Gracilia. This all ties into some things that happened afterwards, because we weren't like the hunky-dory neighbors anymore, right? She started shooting I almost did it. She started in front of her children, So what do you think the children started to do? They started giving us dirty looks. That's okay, it's kids, you don't worry about it. But all our kids play out here in the streets, unless a car goes by at 100 miles an hour, because there's those guys too. 911 calls for those right in the neighborhood. But we just take it, right? Isn't everybody just tired of taking this stuff in our communities? Started shooting the middle finger at us. She did it to Gracilia too. So good teachings for children. And this is why this video is coming into effect. Not one flower was ever placed at this kid's house, right? Gabby Petito, I'm sure, had a memorial. How many people do we know? Because this is a silent voice. This little girl died silently, tied up and abused. The other kids are being abused. Y'all know if that's taking place, you know other weird stuff is taking place. You know that. You know in your heart of hearts that took place. But this little girl died silently inside of her garage. None of us. Not one flower. I'm asking Highlands County. Not one stuffed animal for this little girl, 13. We, that means you guys, we. And shout out to Rick Babb. I've been posting on this page for a long time, and Rick never ever pulls my stuff off because he knows my heart of hearts. But we our community are going to change that. So y'all are going to find out this address. It's in Sun and Lakes, Highlands County. And it's this house with the broke down fence. Follow me. We live in an otherwise peaceful neighborhood. Right now, it's 6:45. Right now, I want you to listen. It's quiet. We walk our dogs probably close to 10 times a day, y'all. Rode my bike up and down the street. Former sheriff deputy, y'all. You didn't hear no kid in there screaming. There was no death. You can pull every CAD record from Highlands County. I've caught a kid, Chris Smith, Highlands County Sheriff's Department. Shout out to you, Chris. Kid breaking into the house down there. I caught him. Dave, my old sergeant, caught a kid kicking in the door over there. Ended up being a girl that was a runaway. One of my old kids that I taught martial arts to at Universal Center of Martial Arts. 10 stolen bikes, Jessica? Was it 10? 10 young youth, man. I won't mention his name, but I caught him in our neighborhood. I threw the 10 bikes in the back of my this is years ago, y'all. So you don't stop being a cop once you were a cop. If you care about your neighborhood, you don't stop believing in the United States Constitution when you swear to take an oath. Well, how many times was our car broken into? Right? How many times did the kids from the rental houses break into our car? So you stand up, right? You stand up. We didn't know this was taking place. I didn't know this was taking place. My neighbor there didn't know it was taking place. And thank God, I'm not going to say his name right now. I'm going to show you a video camera. Thank God our neighbor had a video camera. Thank God. His name's Mike. We're going to do an interview later with him. I'll post it up later on. That morning I woke up, Diane had her SUV. This is where it gets weird. She had her SUV parked sideways, not pulled into her garage, but sideways at her garage. Not one stuffed animal, Highlands County. Not one. Not one flower. Not one balloon. You can still see the chlorine stain.
A little bit. Yeah. There you go.
You can still see the chlorine stain. That this woman, I don't even want to call her a woman. And I respect women. I got a boss at work. I got a forewoman. So we joke about it. She's my foreman. She's a good woman. One of my favorite bosses I've ever had was a woman over in a community that worked here. Gave me a house to give my mom to pay me back for helping me with chemotherapy. I don't see this individual as even a human, let alone a woman. Forget all that man title, all that stuff, or whatever y'all want to call yourselves these days. I don't get it. I don't understand it, but whatever. I respect y'all. But this, you tied up a little girl in that garage. That's where your video camera was. And you had a bite dog German Shepherd to keep people out so that you could hide your wickedness. And I'm going to tell you this right now, so that you could hide your evil. And Diane, I'm going to attend. I'm telling you this right now, Diane, Natasha, Mack, I hope your family plays this for you. I hope they do. Because we didn't see Selena, but we saw you. We heard you. We heard your evil. Highlands County, I'm just asking you. Stuffed animals and flowers. Make fun of me if you want to. I don't care anymore.